Hey, my name is Beb. It's been a minute, but Outlast has been a rough goddamn ride. It built dread to the point some days it was just hard for me to launch the game. I apologize for the delay, so let's not mince any more words and get ourselves checked into Mount Massive Asylum. This beast is a first-person horror game with very fluid controls and basically no ability to defend yourself other than your wits, patience, and hard-earned map knowledge. You play as Miles Upshur, independent reporter who received an email from a whistleblower that something is very wrong with the Murkoff Corporation and what it's doing at this secluded asylum. Your goal is to get in, film the goings-on, and get out. Much like starting an action movie in a helicopter, immediately upon entering the spooky and cursed asylum, shit goes sideways, as Miles is forced deeper and deeper into the rotten belly of this hellish hospital, stalked by insane patients, employees of Murkoff, and the mysterious entity known as the Walrider. I wanted to start with gameplay, but your only real mechanic other than hiding like a bitch or running for your goddamn life is your camera, which has a night vision mode that slowly burns battery the more you use it. While you can stock up to 10, I never got more than like 7, even when the game was being very generous. There's this inherent tension when to reload, because even though the night vision is absolutely critical at many points, you lose any remaining charge on old batteries when you change them. Reloading also slows you down, so running dry during a chase is a nightmare. During my first run, when I slowly crawled through almost every area like a terrified slug, I did learn that save quitting would recharge whatever battery you have loaded. This is cheese. Use it at your own discretion. I'm going to punt the story for the moment to talk about the various antagonists you run into across your no good, very bad, slow news day. First up is Chris Walker, the most iconic villain. He's the guy on the literal game icon, the banner, the iconic nemesis of this game. And I was a little shocked he was in fact wearing pants this entire time. He is hunting and killing a lot of patients seemingly at random, but he especially wants you. His face is so fucking unsettling, and his clanking chains and heavy breathing making something you constantly have to track with both your ears and your eyes, ready to break into a sprint if his crashing footfalls turn towards you, accompanied by a massive brass hit. Chris is the most consistent stalker you come across, running you from the start of the game right to the end, so he's always this looming threat. It feels like he can jump in literally anywhere. Next up, I want to talk about Traeger. Not Dr. Traeger, as he is not a doctor, just a Murkoff higher-up whose already sadistic nature has been turned to 11 by whatever summoned the Walrider. While Chris is this game's nemesis, Traeger's more like a Dr. Mengele, except he's only into suffering for the love of the game, and instead of taking the step of cloaking it in doing science. He also hacks off 2 of Miles' fingers after tricking him into a bad position, which establishes both that we can take damage beyond the make the edge of the screen red kind, and that not everyone is straightforwardly unhinged. I do kind of hate Traeger's section, though. The push mechanic for getting to doors is stressful in the proper way, but man, it is so fucking hard to keep him away long enough to get it done. Fuck off. Father Martin is not really an antagonist in the murdering you to death sense, but he definitely fucks you over and lures you deeper into the asylum when you're close to escape at the opening. He's also the leader of the Church of Sand, which is a cult dedicated to the worship of the Walrider, who I will talk about in a second. Martin whips the inmates into a fervor the best he can with their shattered minds, protecting you from the ones he holds sway over and tasking you with delivering his message to the world. He is profoundly broken, to put it mildly, and is one of the driving forces of the action, helpfully guiding you with massive streaks of blood and just yelling vague enough directions at you. Wrapping up human villains, we have the twins, or as I call them, the Donger brothers. I recall a bunch of people have over-the-top reactions because their dicks were out. Despite the fact they're built like Pinhead Larry, they're fairly eloquent and focused on their particular kind of sadism, often showing up as a set in order to make slipping by a little more complicated. I do have something I want to note that I love about this game. Horror movies especially, but also games, use female nudity as a kind of dangerous titillation, but Outlast leans into the opposite of using male nudity as an implicit threat. There's also a bit I literally think I can't show you, but I will say the note that you get for recording it is called this. In fact, there's no women anywhere in this game for plot reasons. It would have been easy to break the tension with some spooky titties, but Mount Massive will not let up in any regard. Love it. Finally, we have the mysterious Walrider, a kind of black phantom that you can see with the night vision. So, okay, now I have to break my own form a bit and talk about the plot. Alright, so, the Murkoff This amusement-fueled psychotic episode has been sponsored by the Murkoff Corporation. Come and take a tour of our Mount Massive Asylum in scenic Colorado. See our wonderful facilities, friendly staff, solid infrastructure, and most importantly, there are 0 National Socialists on the premises. You heard me. 0. How many science programs can say that? What's that? Can you visit your family members when they stay here? Fuck you! The Murkoff Corporation, putting the nice in science since 1938. And that's about the whole very detailed, very complex conspiracy. Moving on. Now, I want to talk about the level design, which is so tightly constructed for squeezing all the fucking fear from you that it is wonderful. The admin block eases you in with a modern look that's completely soaked in blood from whatever the fuck happened here, and things quickly devolve from the prison block forward as you're forced to navigate this crumbling tomb of insanity, greed, and despair. I want to shout out the courtyard specifically, an area so crushingly dark I almost ran out of batteries, with a surprise chase that almost made me shit myself the first time it happened. Setting is so important for horror games, as your blindness is used to ambush you with enemies or scares, and they often caught me off guard and made me pause to take a breath. Unpausing also triggers a horror sting, so it makes you question if you're actually safe. I love how much this feeds into the smothering aura of despair, where you can't really tell which patients want to hurt you and which want to be left alone, too broken to be a threat. This entire time I was just extremely paranoid, swinging my camera around in an attempt to always know what was going on. You've seen the title of the video, and this feeling is exactly what I meant by it. Outlast is exceptional at bullying you with its perfect combination of sheer atmosphere, labyrinthine construction, and deadly hunters. All of my praise carries over to the DLC, Whistleblower. You play as Wayland Park, the whistleblower I mentioned at the start, as Murkoff does its level best to murder him quietly for trying to expose their secrets. Luckily for him, the loosening of the Wall Rider destroys the power structure present, allowing him a slim margin by which to escape. All the mechanics are the same, but there's a much clearer narrative through line here, with more speaking NPCs giving you bits of intel, even if they rarely last very long. Whistleblower also adds 2 new killers, the Cannibal and Eddie Gluskin. The Cannibal is nothing special outside of his perfectly blood-spattered and nasty design, like he's some kind of evil ferret man. He wants you for dinner and doesn't really have much to him outside of that. Eddie, though. Dear Lord, Eddie is the best antagonist this fucking game has, base and DLC. His deal is not just that he's crazy, which he is, but he actually has specific goals inside of that. He's looking for his perfect bride, but seeing as all the women on site were removed for Wall Rider related reasons that I explained earlier, he's trying to take the male patients and to make them into his bride. Gluskin is perfectly written, swinging wildly between gentle convincing and apologies and violent misogynist tirades. He is the quintessential abusive partner, and if he cannot find his preferred victims in the asylum, he will make them. No woman, real or constructed by table saws, would actually satisfy him because he is not interested in an actual woman, just the most recent submissive recipient of his violence. It makes the times when he gently sings all the more unnerving, as this is no mere serenade, it is a call to the grave. Gluskin's entire section also introduces a new twist on the familiar that feels like it's nothing but is actually literally everything. You get injured and slow down, limping along. Before this point, you've been faster than literally everyone, but now you're just barely slower than Eddie. So if you're not confident or close to perfect, he can easily catch you as you desperately try to escape his pull. While it is a lot shorter, and multiple sections take less than 5 minutes if you know where to go, Whistleblower still does have the horrific verve of the main game. There are 2 sections I do want to highlight. The first is the recreation area, which is full of this fog that completely blinds you if you activate night vision. I do want to bitch about something though. I've been holding off showing jump scares because fuck you, get scared, but I need to talk about this one. What happened here? Did Wayland fucking trip? Why was there a big ass scare cord? This is scripted, by the way, so I didn't find a way to avoid falling ass over tea kettle over a fucking horror sting. Whatever. The big winner here, though, is Gluskid's Lair, the vocational block. A claustrophobic nightmare that funnels you smartly to the next set piece. It has plenty of density and awful areas to get stuck in if you aren't paying attention. I love this place, especially the Nightmare Gymnasium. I'm not sure if I can show, but will anyway, fuck it. Limping through this place in a desperate race makes it work all the better. Last note before I talk about completion, I want to say that despite Miles and Waylon never speaking aloud, they feel very distinct through the notes they make when you record certain events with your camera. Miles grows more aggressive and angry, even leveling a Leon Kennedy level terrible quip when he waxes Traeger in a rare moment of fighting back. Waylon is much more aware of things before, and remains singularly focused on getting home to his wife and kids, which I think helps him fight off the influence of the Wall Rider way better than Miles does. Small note, but I did want to make it. Lastly, we have completions. There's two kinds of achievements beyond just beating the game, collectibles and challenge runs. Collectibles require you to find all the blue files that give you greater insights, as well as recording all the notable happenings to get their, notes. You're unlikely to get all these organically, but after you've beaten the game, a quick run through with a guide handy should do you just fine. Challenge runs, however, are another fucking beast. You have to beat both the main game and Whistleblower on insane difficulty, meaning that all the enemies are set to their hardest possible level, and that there are no checkpoints. So basically, beat the game in one shot. The big thing here is to minimize risk as much as possible, and endeavor I chose to learn some glitches to enable. I just did a long breakdown of my strategy for Shadow of Mordor, and I really don't want to do that again, but I also want to say that this is the point where I no longer felt bullied by the game. Like a real bully, as soon as you know their tricks and can push back against them, the facade folds. All that's left is the trappings that you blaze past in an attempt to be fully free. I'll leave the resources I used in the description, as well as links to unlisted videos with the runs I've completed, but for right now, I want to try something...
New word, automatopoeia. Boom, quit acting like you don't want to be here. Fuck around and get jumped like leave your Glock in the glove, make you really want to leave me alone. Get the fuck on, gone. Okay, back to the happy zones. Rap ain't nothing but all the talking shit. My good look pretty up there, Ryan Dick. My plaid past, my solid future. Ass 9 ass and a gorgeous coochie. I'm an outcast, but you're into me. Summer got mad cause winter blooming. That juicy fruit, that's blucious blues. Generation X on bloop to bloop. Get duke, gotta get duke. Everybody hit the flow, we through the roof. Ha! Like a chimney, I commend me. How come it be? Some lame man nigga talking about, oh, he don't rap enough. Well, y'all rap a lot, and I'm like, wrap it up, ho. You ain't Scarface, you ain't Willie D, you ain't Bushwick, you ain't killing me. Better play with your motherfucking mama. Bet you still stay with your motherfucking mama. Keep sleeping on me, I'ma rock my pajamas. In the daytime, I swear, I promise. Damn nigga say something, tear nigga face off. How come blacks don't play baseball? Y'all right, no, y'all can taste all this fly shit. I stay finna take off. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. You ain't fresh squeeze juice, nigga, you that tang. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Wait, you really slick, Rick? No, you ain't a dang. Bet it up, head her up, lava language and a vocal volcanic. If it ain't fixed, don't broke it, don't panic. If it ain't this, it ain't shit, goddammit. If it ain't this, it ain't dope, it don't flush. And if it ain't hip, it don't hop, it ain't hush. Man, they sound like, man, they stole yo, man, they look like no, but ain't us. I do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. If you really slick, Rick, no, you ain't a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing a thing. You ain't fresh squeeze juice, nigga, you that tang.
Hope you like that. There were almost 40 dead runs that made that possible. Overall, I would recommend Outlast. I really enjoyed its atmosphere, even after the spell was broken. While I was no longer terrified, I could look at all the little bits I didn't notice before, like the point in a haunted house where the scare actor's already gotten you, and you take a moment to look at how cool their costume is. It's wonderful, and while I don't think I will be subjecting myself to of those sequels that come after it, I'll remember this very fondly. Let's get back to the wheel.
There are new wedges.
The wheel is never ending.
Yeah,
technically, I have not.
Meme.
One of them. Technically, I've not closed submissions. What is this?
That's a berries and cream, dude.
Yeah, berries and cream.
Oh my god.
The wheel is eternal.
The fucking space ring with the Lego head is.
It's very good.
Okay.
Wheel.
Oh,
Shrek.
and Shrek.
Shrek. All right, that's number 12.
Shrek. What Shrek is.
What is number 12? Return of the Obra Dinn.
Ooh,
Oh
that's
my god,
me.
it's Jordan.
Yeah.
Hey. Messa is Jordan Biggs.
I forgot about that.